white lady, like kind of like maybe a wedding type gown or something, walking through the trees.
I would almost say that would be my mom because she shows me herself in a wedding gown.
Wow. Yeah, it was very long. It was like extra long, like very dramatically flowing, like wintry. Wow. And then, okay, I came out of the bathroom here and I looked in front of your fridge. I saw like a Mexican woman, kind of maybe like 250 pounds or something. And she had an apron on and she was standing in the kitchen. She has dark hair and she had her hair like in a low bun.
Could you tell her height?
Yeah, about a little bit like yours. Yeah, but maybe a little.
That sounds like his mom.
Wow.
Lupe.
And she was in like a dark red color.
Yeah, she always wore red movements, like kind of.
Oh, she always wore red. Okay, that's her then, definitely.
Dang.
So she's her.
Yeah, I see her all the time.
Huh.
In the last few days, they've kind of cut back on what I've seen because I've been so upset, so mad. And they won't even tell me the truth on everything. It's like everything is hush-hush with them. I'm still so new to this that it's like I have a lot to learn. And that's why I keep saying if this goes badly and keeps going the way they're going, I want it closed. I don't want losing a son and brother in one day. That is
I know.
the most...
That's horrible.
The worst pain you can... Yeah. I mean, losing a child in general, or probably losing... I lost a baby brother at 6 weeks, so I didn't know. But to lose my son, our son, I guess you don't want me to be part of this. It's debilitating when you lose a kid. Yeah. Even though he just moved out, graduated high school, moved out, was going in the military. And then my brother, I helped raise. My mom got into some trouble, and I didn't have to take them in. I took them in because I wanted to at 8 and 10 years old. And it's just, I think sometimes my brother thinks that I don't miss him enough. But I mourn that pain together.
Yeah.
And I try not to let it consume me anymore. I just seen a tear go down your cheek. I mean, it's very nice to have somebody very compassionate like you and that can try to help me here and understand some things, and even about myself.
Right. Now, Amy, can I ask you a few questions? Okay. So how long have you lived in this house?
Just now 11 years.
11 years, and
yes.
The paranormal activity's been for 11 years, right?
No. I didn't feel anything in this house.
Oh, okay.
No, it only started when we brought the medium into our home.
Okay.
But so 2 years before my son's accident, the ringing in my ears started.
Okay.
And the doctor kept saying, tinnitus. No, this is different. So when I brought a medium in, she's at right here. She's out of Chico. I don't want to give her a name because I think what she did was wrong.
Yeah, no names.
I was told
no names.
she left the door open. I don't believe that.
Okay.
But
what was she doing?
Well, she was jokingly around. She was being fine with everything, and she didn't care. Like she would say shit or whatever. That didn't bother me. It's just some of the things, the way she made things sound, I didn't agree with. And one thing she said my son was still 100% grounded here. I didn't understand what that meant. So I reached out to a group, and her name's Sandra Bell. She's out of the UK. Now she's the one who's been very helpful to me to say, no parent should ever have to hear that no matter what, because I take this part of where we're living, this is hell. When we move on, it isn't. And so I said, so my son's living right here in hell with us. And she's like, that's kind of what it sounded like to me. So she gave me a free reading, an amazing one, and confirmed that my son had a premonition, which I just took it as a bad dream, but when she said premonition, and when I told her exactly what he said, he had a premonition. 14 months prior, I woke up to him screaming in his bedroom. And this is his bedroom right here, this wall.
Okay.
So, it used to say Levi on the door. I woke up to him screaming, and I couldn't get him to calm down. He was white as a ghost. He was pale in his face. And I got him to come into the bedroom with me. And it took me a couple hours, and all he would say was, "Mom, I just don't think I'm going to make it past my 20th birthday."
Right.
Wow.
It happened 3 months before his 20th birthday. Now, when I thought back on this in life, this isn't the first time he said that. If I go back to where he's probably 8, 9, 10 years old, I've heard him say it before a couple times. So, he's had that. He had a near-drowning experience. Just a couple of years prior, his friend drowned. He tried to save. He could only feel his fingertips. So my son had some PTSD too. And I didn't put that in any kind of chart because he wanted to go in the service.
And your brother and son, they passed away in a car accident?
My brother was with my son. They were together when it happened. So they were going to work. My son was missing work because his 20th birthday was coming up. And he was feeling it. I know he was. He had to, and he wasn't talking to me about it. Or his wife. So he started missing work, and my brother said, "Look, boss has to talk to you." He goes, "I'll pick you up 15 minutes early." And the other two guys, there were two others in the car. So I picked my son up early. They were in a Ford F-150. And they got going, and it takes about 20 minutes to get to that spot where the accident was at. And a diesel, the guy driving it dozed off and crossed over and only impacted the driver's side. So my son died on impact with head trauma. And he was asleep from my understanding, because the other two boys said, "Oh no, I said, "What were your guys' behavior that day?" He said, "We were just laughing and joking, but Levi was asleep. He gets car sick." And then Shane was driving, so he's had to see that coming on. And they tried to work on him, but he passed shortly.
Oh, wow.
And like I told you, I don't know, it does say, I don't have his death certificate. I forgot to get it. But I do really, like I was telling you, with seatbelts, they rip apart your intestines. Or not your intestines, all your organs. It breaks up everything, and then you just bleed out. And that sounds horrible for anybody to hear. They can save lives and they can kill lives.
Wow.
I mean, I've been in an accident myself, and that's where my PTSD got really bad.
That's terrible. And now when I do my cleansing, we can keep the good spirits here, but anything bad has to leave. And now, possibly, your brother, his mother, your son, they came to this house, maybe a portal open, and is that probably why there's a demonic entity here?
I don't know how, because I protected this place with selenite. The selenite's down now because it just got repainted. So maybe, because this has only been recently that I've started to see a little black thing that looks almost like a little black moth and just disappears.
Yeah, that's energy built up. And I was gonna say,
I've taken a lot of energy out in that room and in my bedroom.
there's something in there, but like it's like an animalistic.
An animal?
It feels like an animal, like almost like sort of like maybe like a panther or like something with claws.
Because he accidentally ripped our son's cat. Now he's a black and white tuxedo cat.
Okay.
But now, when you say panther, things like that, I've always looked at my son. My friend did these videos for me of pictures of my son and brother and put Levi as a lion. like put the lion next to him and me.
And I was seeing lions and cats and
And
different types. That's why I didn't know what to say. I said
I've asked
panther.
for those things.
Yeah.
I even get gargoyles. I mean, but I seen how they put it together.
I see it in there. The cat, panther, animal. I see it in there. It's still in there. It's like it's locked in.
Do you want me to open this?
Yeah,
one?
let's see if you want to go in.
You guys, you're more than welcome. That's what you're here for. Just got some Christmas stuff in here right now, and I don't think he likes.
Oh yeah, and there's some. It's like a ground. It's like a It's coming from the ground. Whatever the energy is, it comes out of the ground. It's like It is like a vortex. But this is
I was told my home is a polar vortex.
Oh, you were told that?
From that camera I had in here.
Yeah.
It's outside now. And the funny thing when you say tiger and stuff like that, because I just dressed my son up, but
Oh yeah, I've seen all different kinds of cats.
I think my brother is the one that, because his son's favorite color is orange. I just got these at the pet store. Adult suits.
That's cute.
But I've asked Levi. I call Levi the king of the castle because he's the one I look to for protection. And it should be the other way around. But it's just in the afterlife part how I look at it. I can leave that open. It's fine. There's just been a lot of activity here. I mean, when it all really started, I started seeing faces all over the floor.
Oh,
These little.
That's common in demonic
That's
hauntings.
it's very
And
common.
what?
Demonic hauntings, so many people will say that they see faces.
That's how it started with me, and it was after the medium.
But she could have also opened your eyes too. Did she like burn anything here, like any herbs or the candles? She just came in and read you like a general medium reading? No tarot cards, no Ouija board, nothing?
Yeah, that is so strange because a lot of our demonic cases, people see images and faces in the carpet, on the walls, everywhere.
It's like energy moving.
It's so strange, yeah.
But it could be pareidolia, the faces
and I
come
looked
out of
into
it.
that.
Yeah, but they always say that out of the
I can
floor.
see them all over my body
Yeah.
when I take a shower, or sometimes in a certain way I can just see little faces everywhere. And I do know right now inside me that my son, he left a little bit ago, but went before I pulled up. He was tapping on me. Because sometimes that's his way of communicating with me instead of out loud because of all these spirits. It's like he's protecting me. So once is no and twice is yes. And then I just heard a hit, but that could have been from him down there. Because he doesn't do it for his dad. He only does it for me. And, but anyways, back to last summer when so the accident happened, October 8th, 2018. We just decided that, because I was so distraught over things and he knew a little bit about mediums, that we would bring a medium in, and we did it exactly at the 6 months. And like I said, everything was great, and then just a few things, and I reached out to somebody else. And another one was Nick Bell. He's the one who, when I showed him a picture of my carpet, he goes, "Well, what does that tell you?" He goes, "What does your heart tell you? Do I need to find somebody to help me stop this, or do I?" I said that because I feel my son. I have pictures of orbs of them in their work clothes. And when he said, "What does your heart tell you?" there was nothing more I needed to hear. I just kept going. I just keep seeing this little white orb. And that's usually my son, because his orb is a small white one. So I kept going, and I would hang out in the backyard a lot with that camera. And sit out by the pool, and they would just sit in front of me and just listen to me talk. But at that time I wasn't hearing or seeing. It just progressed over the years, and then last year as I'm walking towards back and forth in the yard, it feels like little cobwebs touching my feet. Because those are little touches from whatever's out there. They have showed me an imp. And
And you pick up on imps a lot. Yeah.
now what I saw was down there in that corner, that window, that last one by the Christmas tree. Kept seeing something in it, and the curtain was there. There was no lighting, so I don't know how anything came through. But I saw this little thing that looked to be the size of what my grandson was at the time. So this was last year that happened. My grandson was just, 2? Yeah, because he just turned 3. So, and even littler than that maybe. But anyways, it reminded me of him, and I interacted with him, like trying to play with him, and he'd close his eyes and play peekaboo with me. And then all of a sudden but let me go back a second, because before that happened, I seen a man walk from right here at the top step, walk straight, not a man, child, walk straight down, and that man would not take his eyes off that child. And when the child got to the windows, that's when it started happening. And then at some point, that man ended up over there at that window too, and would not take his eyes off that child. But somebody pulled that thing back. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? Because I knew nothing about them. He was using it to entice me to interact. Well, I finally got a good look at the thing, and it had wings, and it had a tail, and a scary looking face.
Wow.
And then the male was probably a teen male, and teeth rotted, scary looking. And at that, I smudged so hard over there to just get it out of here. I've never seen it since. And then I woke up, probably a week or 2 later, and there's a big green thing right by where the fireplace is. I have a picture of it.
Oh, wow.
There was a big green, there was a big, huge green image coming from right here.
That could be angelic.
I think it is, because I
Yeah.
could see 4 boys along with it.
Yeah.
And a guy, Bill something out of New York, said that that's an imp, and I couldn't take it as that, because I was standing in it. I was trying to figure out every which way. I'm like, wait a minute, you're right here, but I'm walking through it, and I'm not feeling anything. And I've never seen it again, and that was last year.
Now, you can keep this confidential, but did you want to talk about what they tell you in your ear?
No, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
I'm open about all
Okay,
of it.
okay.
I'd rather be open than not, because that's
Okay.
the only way I can get the help I need.
And what is it they whisper in your ear?
They just tell me to stay off the Ambien. They use things against me, like men I've been with before Perry, or even while him and I have been split up. We're divorced now. But I literally know I have offended the one. I called her the C word, which for a woman, you don't want to hear that word. I don't think even a male would want to be called that. I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Okay. Because I'm not a cusser, and they're bringing out the worst in me.
Do the dogs ever pick up on anything?
No, she does.
Let me.
Mama dog,
Okay.
Duchess. She would lay here and all of a sudden just start growling. Now, we've only had him a little over a month, but his behavior, he acts like something. He's not used to, he pulls his bed away from, I put their beds back there.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't mind it. He doesn't like it, but he was outside dog. Now, he pulls his bed up here. But I think maybe he does see something and he doesn't like what he sees.
Right.
But he doesn't bark at anything. She will, but she's used to it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched my daughter's in denial on this. The beginning of this summer, because he got me put in a mental hospital in January. I'll go back to talking what they say in a minute. But I got put in a mental hospital in January. I was there 9 days. It was supposed to be just a a hold just to make sure I'm okay because I was communicating with spirits. And, you know, doctors want to look at science of it. So, when I came out, everything was the visions. It's like watching a projector screen of all these people dancing or doing things. Just what they showed me was crazy. But I came home and I was in the backyard with my granddaughter, and all of a sudden, I get a flash of two males. The one I recognized, the other one I didn't. He had no shirt on. There's only two people I can think it can be. And anyways, my granddaughter just halts and goes like this. You're not going to hurt my brother. And I'm looking at her like, Maddie, come here. And, oh wait, you might want to blop out that name. It's okay. He'll be fine. I just won't say her. I'll say granddaughter. But I turned to my daughter and I said, did you hear her say that? She's like, no. So she went to go take my grandson in. I knew it wasn't harmful because her behavior, I believe it was my son. I just didn't see who was standing there. I just know that he's the only one who communicates with her. So when my daughter was walking off with my grandson, got up halfway to the deck, she goes, the thing said he's going to hurt my brother. So I yelled to my daughter, I said, Nikki, come back here. She's like, no, he needs to go to the bathroom. So I just let her go in, and I took my granddaughter in, and I said, let's go in. And we came in, and I talked to her about it. And she's just in denial.
Wow.
My granddaughter does still have a connection with him, I do believe, because she gets very empath. She's, like me, empath. She just gets down there and deep in her emotions for no reason why. And just to sit down and say, I miss Uncle Levi and Shane. But they say things to me like, get up and make your bed. Get up and do this. Do this. So it's not when they're being that way, they're not being mean.
Right.
It's the high pitches. But it's the sexual part of it that pissed me off. No spirit has any right to be touching me down here. That is plain and simple. And it's happened about 4 or 5 times. Now, one time I said, go ahead, do it. And then they didn't do it. So I was like reverse psychology on it, and that worked. And I had never heard of spirit sex in my life. And I had to look it up to see if it was even a real thing. Yeah. And it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Cheesy videos.
Yeah, we know.
But, like a friend of mine said, he goes, for some people, they really like it, and some others. I said, you know what? It's not for me. If it was, it would have to be probably a husband or something I lost. But somebody you don't know, because I've been raped. I know what it's like to be violated, and that's what they made me feel like, was I was being violated again. But I feel safe in this home. Like right now, I just saw something drop.
Which gave you a little care package right here?
Well, that's for the baptism and stuff.
Oh, the baptism. Okay, yeah, for the baptism.
Are we doing that right now?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a little walkthrough. It's like a sweep. We'll try to get some EVPs. If we don't get any EVPs, it doesn't mean that they're not here, that they're just hiding. So we're just going to do a sweep. I'm going to follow her, see if I can pick up anything on the camera. And after we do the sweep, we can probably start the baptism and the cleansing. You still want the baptism?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
He did because we're both ordained ministers, but he did a christening on me last year when I was going through the midst of it. But I was also, at that time, I decided to do the stupid thing and try drugs, and drugs are not an answer. It makes it worse.
Right.
But, as far as when it comes to my son and brother, family, all that, I'm very close with my family. I never let my son leave the door without saying, I love you, or call you, I love you, all that. I let him get away with everything. He didn't do the take out the garbage when he was supposed to, but I still paid him, and my mom. We might have had our issues, but she's my mom. I still love her. But these things are making me want to say, I hate you, because of the things that are going on.
Yeah. The most important thing for today is the cleansing, not the investigation. I mean, I totally believe you. I saw the pictures, but I mean, we'll do a sweep and see if we can get any EVPs, anything anomalies in our photographs. But if we don't, it doesn't matter.
Right.
The cleansing is the most important part.
Right.
Yeah.
So. And I don't. How close in proximity do they have to be to you to communicate, or can they communicate wherever they are?
Wherever they are.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking sometimes they got to be within a certain amount of me.
And not only that, a lot of people don't know, but a true demon can, let's say he's right here, but he can zap himself and be somewhere else, like China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Because I've heard my son, the way he's always wanted to explore the world. I'm like, Levi, get out there. You're free. Go do it. You know, and my brother, he leaves behind a son. They want to come home. If there was a way I can have children, I know for a fact that these two souls would come back to me. But I had to have hysterectomy. People think that that's crazy, but you know what? I know what they've told me. Because I can hear them loud and clear. It's just right now they're listening to us.
I'm going to go ahead and change this card, and